This is my favorite part. Exciting.
That meme you just saw is exactly what popped into my mind whenever I heard about the Halo Infinite mid-season update. I stepped away from Halo Infinite last month because I knew things weren't gonna get better, and everyone kept telling me, wait until the mid-season update, wait until their big patch in February, wait until we start really getting into the big updates. And then when we saw what the mid-season update was going to be, it was laughable, because that's what a lot of games as a service games, including Apex Legends, one game that I'm a very big fan of at this point, call a Tuesday update, a weekly update, not a mid-season update, a weekly update. This is to me just something that has continued to fall flat on its face. And we've seen tons of controversy coming out of 343 Industries recently, including their community managers losing their mind and going after members of the community for bringing up issues. But this is where I have to say that I made the right choice. I made the right choice of stepping away from Halo for the time being and just watching it to continue to be a dumpster fire. Because instead of impressing everyone and shutting up the critics, they just proved us right. They just proved that this is what we're going to get. Because a lot of people, including myself, whenever we first heard about Halo Infinite games as a service, a lot of us were concerned. A lot of us were judgmental about it, and rightfully so. And there was a lot of people that saw them doing the battle pass as, you know, never going to expire. It's totally doable. You can come back to it anytime, and thought this is going to be different. This is going to be a better games as a service. This is what people are going to think about when they think of games as a service. They are going to think about Halo Infinite and what it did right. And then you get the game, you see how unfinished it is, the lack of content, and then you realize, no, this is one of the worst examples of games as a service, even worse than the ones that manipulate players and, you know, abuse them with microtransactions and everything. This is worse. Because at least with other games as a service like Apex Legends and so on, you get content, you get mid-season updates with huge events, with limited time game modes. We haven't gotten dick. We've gotten game modes that we expected to be in the game day one. We've gotten no maps. We've gotten no communication. And that's the funny thing. I've seen a ton of content creators over the past 2 weeks come out and start heavily criticizing Halo Infinite. The same people that were saying, oh, we just have to have faith. We just have to understand where 343 is coming from. They've had not enough time. 6 years. I have watched this go on for 6 years, and people are saying, well, they've had development hell. Then delay the game. That's what a lot of people were saying. This game is not ready. Delay the game. But they can't, because Microsoft's breathing down their necks, which is understandable. It's been 6 fucking years. 6 years to get your shit together, and they couldn't. And now they deliver a lackluster mid-season update, which does very minimal stuff. It doesn't even fix the things that we expected to fix. The biggest fix I think it brought was, hey, we're gonna actually fix the frame rate on some of the animations. That's a weekly patch, not a mid-season update. Like, it's just baffling to me. It's baffling to see how they could fall this flat on their face. And continuing off of that, they've been having community managers spurg out. Now, I know there's a lot of tension going on in the real world. I know that there's a lot of problems going on that we're all dealing with. But the one thing you don't do, especially when you're a community manager, is you take your real world problems and put them on to members of your community that are bringing up criticisms of your game, of your company.
So now we have this headline that an employee at 343 uses this event that I'm not going to get into because this is an entertainment channel. It's supposed to take you out of the world, right? But I do need to bring it up. I'm just going to call it the event, right? As a defense for Halo 5 and the Halo Wars 2 servers being shut down for 36 hours.
What happened was a community member, I know who the community member is, I'm not going to bring him names, brought up the fact that Halo Wars 2's service had been brought to a standstill and had been down for 36 hours at the time of them posting a tweet. And they tagged, a number of community managers, and one of them was Postums. And I've had a lot of criticisms of Postums. Postums, in my opinion, is sometimes one of the most unhinged people in the entire staff of 343 Industries, and can't seem to separate life from business, and he lets his real life situations leak into his job as a community manager. And instead of addressing the issue that was brought up by this community member, they basically brought up the fact about the war going on with Russia and Ukraine, basically bringing that up as a reason to why they haven't been paying attention, instead of saying something like, thank you for bringing this to our attention, we will take care of it as soon as possible. Instead, they wanted to bring up the real world events that is going on as to a reason why their game had been down for 36 hours. I understand that this war going on has a lot of people scared and a lot of people upset. You do not use that as an excuse when you should have people on staff that should be aware of the situation. Halo support didn't bring this up. None of the Halo Twitter accounts brought up the fact that Halo Wars 2 had been out of service for 36 hours. Then when a community member who is very involved with Halo Wars brings it up to you, you then try and throw that back in their face as a way to say, well, I've been focusing on real life stuff, which is understandable, but shouldn't be the response to someone trying to bring up a situation for your job. So I just wanted to bring this up. I just wanted to basically point out that there should have been better improvements. Right now, I'm looking at the update overview for the mid-season update, and this is what it says here. First-person animations, including reloading and clambering, now appear smoother at all frame rates. Audio mix improvements across both multiplayer and campaign improvements. Improved cheat detection and other anti-cheat improvements. Multiple improvements to quick resume on both Xbox Series X and S consoles. Stability improvements for Xbox One consoles. Optic Gaming Bundle is now available in the Halo Champion HCS store. Are you kidding me? These are the main overviews, and then you get into the global and multiplayer, and basically it's just a breakdown of the same stuff. There's a little bit more detail to it and a few other little things they mention, but nothing really that is groundbreaking that should be a mid-season update. And obviously 343 doesn't understand what a mid-season update is, what is expected of games as a service. Again, this goes back to the criticisms of when I heard that Halo Infinite was going to become games as a service, I thought I was going to be getting updates quicker, content quicker, not waiting longer. I thought I would be putting up with microtransactions and other sleazy things, and then reaping the benefits of games as a service and basically supporting the game to be getting more content. Not this shit that should have been there at launch, and then waiting 3 months for a mid-season update that doesn't do dick. I've privately talked to my community about their thoughts on the mid-season update. Not surprising whatsoever. They said I didn't expect anything. I didn't even know it was coming out. Looked at it, didn't really surprise me. And that's the truth. No one is surprised by how badly this mid-season update really turned out to be, how lackluster this mid-season update turned out to be. And now they're going about updating the Halo Infinite store, and they're changing prices across the board and bringing out new cosmetics and bringing back some old cosmetics and lowering the price. But it's like them dangling the keys in the shiny object in front of, the player base that's still there, saying, ooh, no, don't worry about this. Look at the shiny new object in our store. Look over here. You can look at this, and trying to distract them from the true issues going on in the game. This is a joke. And now I feel so justified. I feel so validated in me admittedly taking a break from Halo, stepping away, and not feeling guilty whatsoever.